Oh yeah, sexy biscuits. Nice.
Long was 1975. A YouTuber on the rise. Reviewing games late at night and sometimes friends used to bug him. Long was 1975.
Hey YouTube, Lawnboys Post 1975, and welcome to another game comparison video. In this game comparison video I want to do Virtua Fighter on the SEGA Saturn versus Virtua Fighter on the SEGA 32X. Now Virtua Fighter was originally released in the arcades in 1993 by AM2 and it was developed by Yu Suzuki. Absolutely revolutionary, groundbreaking fighting game because it is considered to be the first 3D fighting game out there. I played it on holiday in the States when I was, I guess, 16, and absolutely blown away. It's a very technical fighter considering it's only got 3 buttons. Now obviously I can't do a comparison of the arcade game. I can only do the Saturn versus the 32X because, well, the arcade game is a little bit too much for main as well. I would expect so, even for my Xbox. But then, you know, and people say, well, you can run on the Saturn, but this is, you know, this is a port. So, anyway, while I've always preferred Tekken, I've always had a soft spot for Virtua Fighter because just, you know, how blown away I was when I first saw it in the arcade. It was, you know, a whole new level. It was something completely different. And the fact that it was the first 3D fighting game. Now, the Saturn version, this is where it gets a little bit sort of out there, or up for debate, I should say. But first of all, I'm not going to do Virtua Fighter Remix because, well, we'll work that into what I'm about to say. The Saturn version sold nearly 1-for-1 with the Saturn, at least in Japan, and is considered to be absolutely pretty much identical to the arcade. My understanding was, so by all means correct me on this, but that still doesn't stop me doing a comparison of these two types. My understanding was that it was very rushed and very, very flawed and buggy and ridden, like that, like the background floating in, you know, well, in the background. And so what they did was, if you register, well, they released Virtua Fighter Remix, where they made the graphics look like Virtua Fighter 2, which was then kind of, I don't know, it's an interesting one. It was on the Saturn first, but then went into the arcades. But they released that as a kind of, I don't know, an improvement or an apology. And if you registered your original Saturn, at least in North America, you got a copy for free. But I'm not going to do that version because, like I said, I want to compare these two types of, you know, graphical style. This one against the 32X. So, you know, as broken as this is, or is it? I don't know. I think it is. I mean, look at it. Obviously, it's not. It's still an interesting comparison because the Saturn hardware is so much more powerful than the 32X hardware. Right, anyway, I hope that made sense. By all means, correct me in the comment box down below. Now, you've got a punch, a kick, and a block, and that's it. But you can still do, what, 250 moves per person? I am terrible at this game. It doesn't stop me enjoying it. I am just terrible at this game. So, yeah, easy, continue, small, jump small, yes, because I don't like feeling I'm on the moon. Anyway, so you could change your life bars and everything. So, yeah, I'm terrible. It doesn't stop me enjoying it. It's just one of those great games. I think it's because even if this port is broken, that remains to be seen, or not, I don't know, you just get that nostalgia when you first see it of realising that fighting games have gone to a whole new level. That was a massive waffle. Anyway, Verse Arcade, right. The music is phenomenal, as you would expect. It's coming off CD. So anyway, I like this kind of Lego graphical style. So 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 characters. Kiryu's your all-round sort of, I don't know, Street Fighter-y bloke, which is what we're going with. I love the fact that it tells you stuff. Job, hobby, kung fu. Whose hobby is classical music or dancing? I can't remember. But you know, again, even now, it's a title screen back in the day. They changed it in Remix, and obviously in Virtua Fighter 2. Which is an amazing port on the Saturn. I have a gameplay of that. But yeah, that's still an impressive screen. Right, so... Now, obviously, this was released on the Saturn in 1994, but I think in the West, it got it in 1995. So I don't know when Remix was released. And I only just found out, doing a little bit of research on this, that Remix... What was that? I can't remember what year, but yeah, like I said, it was ported to the arcade, and I'm assuming that means it was ported to the arcade after Virtua Fighter 2. I'm talking bollocks. No, it is got terrible glitches in the background. It has. I mean, I'd have to play the arcade to to know if that's, you know, an accurate representation of the arcade. But that said, you know, as chunky and limited as the characters look now, it was something else. I mean, although its problem was this came out, what, beat the original Tekken to the PlayStation by a couple of months, which obviously blew this out of the water. Yet that's a bit choppy. Right, what's... So, I'm trying to work out how you do a block? Probably want to... There we go, yeah. Yeah, so I mean, I can still find it kind of impressive. It will be interesting because I've got a gameplay of the 32X version, but I haven't played it since I first got my modded. Yeah, I'm terrible. I don't know any moves, but imagine you having a doll like that in the middle of your room, in your room in the middle of the night. I'd shit my pants if someone turned the light on and made a loud noise. But yeah, to play them, you know, together, I've never got on with the jump mechanic in this. It feels like you're on the moon. Hey, I'm not sure how I did that, but yeah, sorry, I talking and playing, not my bag, baby. But yeah, this, I mean, obviously Virtua Fighter Remix blows it out the water, and again, I didn't want to put that in this video because it's not fair. That is choppy, mind. So the website I was reading that on, that said it was, you know, pretty much identical to the arcade. That's, they gotta be, I don't know, sniffing their Tipex thinners again. Then having said that, you know, I can't do a direct comparison to the arcade, and I never played it in the arcade back in the day, but yeah. I got my nostalgic goggles on, kid. That flashing of the start button is really jarring. Bye, ring out. Oh, I thought we were on top of a building. Right, one more round. See if I can take out Sarah. Oh, she's not my sister, she's Jackie's sister, isn't she? Oh, that's all I left for. I don't have to hold back, I don't like you. Fuck it. It's not like I'm not going to get a Christmas present, I'm going to get one anyway, isn't it? Bye! Right, so yeah, to me it looks choppy and broken, but we'll jump into the 32X version, and as I said, you've got to remember that the 32X version, while the Saturn is considered to be more of a 2D powerhouse than a 3D powerhouse, it's still, you know, running on hardware way, way, way superior to 32X, and also, you know, storage-wise, it's got a bloody CD. So right, let's get into the next version. So let's take a look at Virtua Fighter on the SEGA 32X. It was released in 1995. I believe it was also developed by AM2, but don't quote me on that. And what's interesting is if it was released in 1995, then was it released, it was a launch title, I believe, well, at least in North America, and was released the same year that Virtua Fighter was released in Europe? I'm not sure, but right off the bat, it's one of those games that if you weren't playing this off the bat, playing it on the SEGA Saturn, it will look a lot better than it does, which is why it's interesting to do a comparison video. But look at it. You got to remember, it's a combination of, you know this, the polygons are done by the 32X, the background, I believe, not the ring, but the background are done by the Sega Mega Drive and or Genesis. But again, considering the hardware, the fact that it looks anything in comparison to the Saturn version is absolutely amazing. I'm not going to lie, back in the day, you know, as I mentioned in my Space Harrier video, I wanted a 32X for sort of the sprite scaling games mainly, but also because this, you know, these 3D games, this and Virtua Racer. So let's get into it. See, so I guess it was developed by AM2, but yeah, let's have a look. Right, obviously the screen ratio is not going to do it any favours. Let's have a look in options. So you got a couple more on the screen. Oh, wrong button. There we go. Hello, normal, enemy level, easy. So you've got all the stuff you've got in the other one, which is kind of cool. This, to me, what I can tell, not over Virtua Fighter Remix, but is generally considered to be smoother. Let's see. Looks the part. Obviously going to be way, way, way fewer polygons in the characters. I guess I've got to go with Akira to make it fair. Who likes reggae music, karaoke, Chinese poetry? That was it, not dancing. But we'll go with Akira, because that's not scary, kids. Remember the puppet bit in Elm Street 3? Yeah. Right, what are the buttons? But it looks the part, really does. This is impressive. There you go, that's how accurate it is. You've still got the floaty jump. They're floaty lights, point to the quote. But this is phenomenal. And, alright, I don't know if it's because less is more, but you haven't got that god-awful sort of choppy in the background. Like I said, it was on the Saturn, they said it was nearly identical to the arcade. Well, no, because it must have been broken because of that choppy thing and also the fact that they released, you know, remixed. But, yeah, I would say this is smoother. I know that's right at the start, but hey, music's pretty cool as well. But remember, it's not coming off. I mean, the 32X had good music, but it's not coming off a CD, so it shouldn't be anywhere near in that ballpark. But it is. That's cool. In the arms, the upper torso and stuff like that, you can see that they lack, you know, polygons. But, and you know, it's an unfair comparison, I know, but that's why these things are cool. Oh, and also, I don't know any moves, so we can't really test the animation. Chuck Norris kicks. Everything looks like a Chuck Norris kick. But yeah, this is genuinely very impressive. Get back, get back. Cheap win, cheap win. Checkered board. Yeah, look, it doesn't do that horrible breaking chop in the background. So as blunt and more blocky as the characters look, sexy. It's, yeah, it does seem a lot smoother. I don't know what the frame rate is. I'm guessing, I want to say 30 frames a second. I should have probably looked that up. Not that it makes any difference if I'm doing a direct comparison running them back to back, you know, but yeah. Sweet. I mean, obviously all the backgrounds, the actual, you know, sprite backgrounds are stationary, so yeah, there you go. Don't tell Jackie, he's my friend. You know what, it's been ages since I've played this, and I am really, particularly going back and back, whether the other version was broken or not, I am really impressed. Really impressed. Ow! Wish I knew some fucking moves. Like I said, you would think that it's, you know, very limited because there's only 3 buttons. But it's not. There are hundreds of moves. It's a bit more, like I said, it's more of a technical purist fighters game, this, from what I can understand. Maybe that's why I prefer, thought it was going to be broken for a bit then. Maybe that's why I prefer, Tekken, because it's a little bit more forgiving. Obviously, there are people who can master it and they could just kick the shit out of me just by thinking, you know, spiritual thoughts. But I think it's, you know, easier to learn. Whether it's difficult to master, this is fucking hard to learn. Mind you, I do have a manual for the Saturn one, so there's no excuse. Yeah, again, sorry kids, I'm doing all the same moves, but like I said, I just wanted to compare it. I mean, I'd love to know what your thoughts or your memories of it are, whether you had this back in the day, or you had the original Saturn one, or you had, you know, remix, or you had them both, you know, in sequence. I'm pretty sure that was a grab. Anyway, I'm going to call it quits and round it up here. Which is the best? That's up for you to decide. But I think this, graphically, while it's smoother and it doesn't have that horrible breaking in the background, and obviously, you know, they take a hit, they take a limit compared to how they look on the Saturn. But I would say this is the smoother version. Anyway, let me know what you think. I could be talking a right old load of bollocks. And thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you later.